Spend enough time in foreign countries, you realize, no matter how wonderful they are, they're not your country.
Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, Strike two! Fraud! Cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves country today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Line up for Braves country. The bank. B is for Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavin. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P's still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitcher's lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young. The game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for zip, boom, bam, ram-a-lamma, ding-dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for pitch by pitch, play by play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone line. Join the Country Club today. The first month is free. You'll have access to badges, one-of-a-kind emojis to display your Braves pride throughout the ball game. You'll also get instant access to our video drops, members-only chat, wallpapers, and more is on the way. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today.
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, good afternoon, Braves Country. We are coming to you, getting ready and set for game one of a 4-game series. And let me go ahead and get the scoreboard, the lineups, I should say, shared on to the screen. And we are getting ready for pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. What we're going to go over today is what is the realistic options, light jam, not having Ronald Acuna Jr. and having some kind of bad connection. I don't know what the hell. Going just a second. Let me try to restart this thing. I will be right back. I'll go ahead and put the All right, I hope everybody can hear me. We're having some technical difficulties, and it's the internet in the air. That's all that it can be. I've checked everything, so hopefully things will get straightened out here in a second. So hopefully everything's good to go. If not, let me know and I'll dip in and dip out again. But this is your starting lineup for today. The big news, the good news before we get into the whole Acuna thing. Austin Riley is in the lineup. And I don't know who made this lineup, but whoever the hell M. Riley is. What the? That tells you something right there. The level of competence. Michael Riley? Who the hell is M. Riley? Anyways, Riley is batting second. I found that interesting that's the way they're going to go with this lineup is they want Riley batting second. Ozzie is going to lead off. Ozuna is the designated hitter. And with all that being said, second against righties. But I think what they might just be doing is they want one guy to be the leadoff guy. They don't want to shuffle that back and forth. So that's why Ozzie, the switch hitter, is nod to start it. And of course, he's led off before. But I thought we might get a situation where you get a different starter because you've got a lefty on them as the game goes along, but Mitchell Parker is the starter today. So I would tend to think that when you see a right-hander on the mound, Ozzie's going to be the leadoff guys. Ozuna batting third in the DH. Olsen fourth. All that's – and then Sean Murphy is back behind home plate. And we are and once again, like my connection's bad is what's going on here. I don't even understand why, because everything was running fine until like 2 minutes ago. But anyways, what you've got here is Sean Murphy's going to be back behind home plate. Adam Duvall is in left, and Harrison center. Well, they've got I don't know what much whoever put this thing together. They definitely have the backup. Adam Duvall's in right. I was looking at that screen and going off. They got two left fielders, no right fielders, and they have someone named M. Riley on the board. Let me go to the real setup here. Harris is in center for obvious reasons. Duvall, who's played a lot of right field, is in right, and Kelnick's in left. I think on days where you want to put Kelnick over in right field, that's not a terrible idea. Kelnick's got a damn good arm. He came up originally as a right fielder, so I think he can fill in fine. What they're doing is they are putting there in we're gonna add to this as we go throughout the show, because we're gonna have, because of the delay, I got everything came in kind of wonky, but we are going to go over the trade targets, the realistic trade targets, not the dopey ones, not the people that go in and say, go get Ohtani, go get Mike Trout. All right. How you getting them and who's paying for it? And then if you want to live in the, sit there and shout that from the rooftop. But this connection is just absolutely terrible. Maybe if I restart that connection, it'll help a little bit. But with everything being said, we're going to go over some trade targets throughout the entire broadcast. I'm going to do a couple of them right now, and then we'll continue to add to these as the game goes on, as I'm trying to pat my head and rub my stomach at the same time. Give me 1 second here. Okay, the first ones. So the ones that I'm talking about right now are the ones that could be brought in either now or at the trade deadline. And what I primarily went off of was looking at the actual teams who, I'm not going to say that their season's over and they're out of it per se, but they are on the very far outside looking in. Right? And so with that being said, there's another look at the false lineup that they have out there. By the way, that everyone's going to sit there and shout from the rooftops, but he's also in a contract till 2027. They're not looking for a solution in right field because Acuna will be back by the beginning of the season next year. And so, yeah, you can go on with the idea, well, if you bring in the offseason, yeah, in theory, but then you kind of paint yourself into a corner. And then what are you doing? You're overpaying for an outfield when you got a really good deal on Jerry Kelenic. So that's not realistic. You got to look at what the Braves are willing to do. And so we're going to go over these as the game goes on, but I'm going to drop a couple names right here before we do go to break, just to keep this in mind. In the Boston Red Sox organization, I saw someone drop a name of Jarren Duran in Twitter yesterday, building around Duran for a while. We do a Red Sox podcast with one of our Red Sox guys, and that's one of the control for quite some time. You're looking for a 1-year rental. Well, who is realistic is Tyler O'Neill. He's on a 1-year deal. It's a cheaper deal. You can put him and I think that's in Harold Ramirez, and who plays right field. He's got a solid bat, but then there's also Ahmad Razar field, and so that would give you some options there. All right, we're going to go ahead and step away here and try to get you the does not. You know what? I'll be back in a second. We're going to skip that intro, my whole connection. We will be back. I'm going to fly.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing shortstop for the Washington Nationals, it's C.J. Abrams. 8 home runs, 24 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .256. Batting second, playing right, Lane Thomas. 2 home runs, 10 RBI, 11 stolen bases, a .184 average. Garcia is at second and batting third with a .273 clip, 5 home runs, 26 RBI, 8 stolen bases. Batting cleanup and playing left field, it's Eddie Rosario. Rosario has 7 home runs, 18 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .172. Ruiz is behind home plate with 3 home runs, 11 RBI, a .200 average. Winker is the designated hitter with 6 homers, 22 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .228. Nick Senzel batting 7th, playing third. 5 home runs, 11 RBI, a .210 average. Joey Gallo is playing first with 4 home runs, 7 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .133. And Young is batting 9th and playing center field. He has 11 RBI, 15 stolen bases, batting .260. On the mound for the Washington Nationals, it's Mitchell Parker. The young southpaw is 3-2 with a 3.32 ERA, a 1.16 WHIP, 38 innings pitched, 32 strikeouts versus 36 hits allowed, 8 walks, and 4 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Uncle Charlie. It's Charlie Morton Day in Atlanta. He's 3-3 with a 3.35 ERA, a 1.2 WHIP, 51 innings pitched, 40 hits allowed, 52 strikeouts versus 21 walks and 5 home runs given up. Backing up Uncle Charlie in the bottom of the first inning. Leading off and playing second base, it's Ozzie Albies. 269 average, 3 home runs, 25 RBI, 3 stolen bases. Batting second and playing third, manning the keystone, Austin Riley is back. He has 3 home runs, 18 RBI, and a 245 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. He's got a 311 average, 15 home runs, 47 RBI. Batting cleanup and playing first is Big Matt Olson. Olson, with 3 hits yesterday, has improved his average to 230, his 8th home run, and 29 RBIs. Batting fifth and behind home plate, Sean Murphy is back. Sean Murphy is 0 for 3 on the season before going to the IL. Taking over duties in right field, it's Adam Duvall. Duvall has 4 home runs, 11 RBI, a 207 average. Patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. The Hawk has 5 home runs, 17 RBI, 7 stolen bases, a 260 average, and a glove that should be golden. Batting 8th and playing short, another Gold Glove candidate, Orlando Arcia. The Magic Kingdom has 5 home runs, 18 RBI, a 243 average. And in left field, yet another Gold Glove candidate, it's Jerry Kelnick. The JK Kid is batting 265 on the year, 3 home runs, 9 RBI. Those are your lineups for Memorial Day here in Atlanta, Georgia. Behind home plate calling balls and strikes, it's Lance Barksdale. First base umpire, Nick Lentz. Second base will be manned by Will Little, and down the third base line, it's Quinn Walcott. 82 degrees here in Atlanta, Georgia. The slight chance of rain at first pitch. Your Atlanta Braves come in 30-20, 16-8 at home. The Nationals are 23-28, 13-15 on the road. Atlanta Braves are minus 225 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Nationals, game 1 of a 4-game set. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there in Braves country. We would like to thank those who have served. We'll take a moment of silence to those who gave all.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call! You're in Braves country.
Welcome in Braves country. We got the U.S. flag up as an emoji for the day. Show your American pride. That's the best one I could find. They have such weird things that they will let you put up, and they have to be certain dimensions, and it'll constantly get kicked out if you don't have the exact dimensions. So that was the best one that we could find. I think it's showing up on the screen pretty well. I wanted one that actually had Memorial Day, but you would have never been able to read it. So I believe we got the connection fixed. I tried a couple of things. I think I haven't seen the I haven't seen the nonsense that we saw at the beginning. So we'll pretty much start the conversation back over right after roll call. Let's go ahead and get that back in because my producer back at the radio station said that they couldn't hardly make out anything because it was all chopped up. So we'll start it over. Good afternoon and welcome into Braves Country Baseball. We've got country club members, Envy, Red Rum. I saw the GOAT in here earlier. If I don't say your name, I had to refresh my page, so I may not be getting everybody that came in at the beginning. So just jump back into the conversation. I saw Underwater in here, John. Let me see. What else do we have here? I know it's a Memorial Day, so maybe not a lot of people are chatting. They might be out by the pool. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day. Good afternoon, Nathaniel, Russell, Robert, and we've got Travis and Grandma King. Okay, so as we get set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, if you're Atlanta Braves, the Braves will be wearing their home whites. The Nationals will be in their road grays, and we will go over everything that we normally do, but today we're also going to talk about the possibilities of where the Atlanta Braves may be heading out on the trade market, as we are going to be looking. Obviously, this is not the team that they want to take to the postseason. You're missing someone very, very integral in Ronald Acuna Jr. being done for the season. And for some reason you were under a rock and you missed it. Ronald Acuna Jr. tore his ACL yesterday, and he is out for the season. Braves are coming out in their home whites, and top to bottom, names in navy, numbers in red, Braves on the front in red with the tomahawk underneath, all outlined in navy. We got the navy ball caps and the red bills. And so we're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, as Charlie Morton is taking his final warm-up tosses. And so what I was talking about on the pregame show, and I don't know if everybody could make out anything what I was saying, so we're going to start this over. A lot of names are going to be thrown out there, but you got to take it with a grain of salt when some of these knuckleheads go on social media or jump in a chat room or wherever you see it. It could be 100 places. And they're going to tell you things like, we got to go get Ohtani. We got to go get Mike Trout. Well, how are you going to pay for that? You going to chip in? Because when you say spend money, let's be honest. The people who are normally saying spend money are usually the cheapest SOBs of all, right? So let's be realistic on who they could target and not just throw names of future Hall of Famers out there that are making gazillion dollars and have team control, and the team doesn't necessarily want to give up on them. And if you're going to give up one of these great players, you're going to expect something really big in return. But the Braves will try to hit lightning in a bottle like they did in 2021 when they brought in Jock Peterson, they brought in Rosario, they brought in Soler. Soler, unfortunately, now he does have an opt-out, but he's in a long-term contract that's paying pretty good chunk of change. I would love to see a Jorge Soler, but right now, San Francisco Giants, as the first pitch on the way, yes, sir, it's baseball time in Braves country, and Charlie Morton fires a fastball right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, righty-lefty, kicks and fires, curveball misses outside, 1-1. So the idea of what we're talking about today are teams that are struggling right now that is the 1-1 pitch, swung on, tap foul off the plate. Immediately, Sean Murphy gets one banged off his leg, getting him back into the, what do they call those, the tools of ignorance? Should be noted, I don't see the patriotic hats that you normally see on Memorial Day, but I do notice that Sean Murphy has what looks like camo gear behind home plate. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, popped up high, can of corn, and just like that, Austin Riley retires the first out. It's felt like 6 months. He's only been out 2 weeks, but he makes the catch and one away. So we talked about just before we had the technical difficulties, and I don't know who heard it, George Springer would be ideal on a team of the Toronto Blue Jays that is flailing, but he's under contract till 2027, averaging 24 a year. First pitch on the way to Lane Thomas is down and away, curveball or sinker made it for a strike. It's 0-1. Lane Thomas is raked against the Atlanta Braves. Got to keep this guy off the base. The 0-1. We haven't seen the Nationals as the 0-1 pitch. Curveball misses outside, 1-1. And what they have quietly have become is a team that can put some runs on the board, and they've got some pretty good starting pitching. Their bullpen is their weakness, but this is a scrappy club. This isn't what we've played the last few years. The 1-1 swatted down the left field line. Is it fair? Karam's off in towards left. Here comes the throw from Kelnick. He fires it into second, and it's a one-out double for Thomas. That ball just stayed fair. Thomas once again raking against the Atlanta Braves. I mean, I'm honest engine. If we could pry Lane Thomas away from the Nationals, I would love to bring him in. But he's got several years of control left. So 1 on, 1 out, and the other thing is when you start looking at teams in our division, you just don't typically see trades made, significant trades in your own division. First pitch on the way to Garcia for Morton is right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. And I'd love to hear y'all's opinions on who you think we could realistically go get. The 0-1 swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 0-2. Our old friend Eddie Rosario is standing on deck, and I know that's going to be a name that a lot of folks are going to be talking about. Once again, he's in our division. He's not hitting that well. He's got 7 home runs, but he's only hitting like 172. The 0-2. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Uncle Charlie gets the first strikeout of the game. 2 away. Good pitch. We do have the Charlie Morton Uncle Charlie emojis as well. So that'll bring Eddie Rosario to the plate. But once again, one of the problems as Eddie Rosario gets a round of applause from the fans, and rightfully so, the 2021 NLCS MVP. And he'll always have a special place in our heart. But sometimes you can't put the lightning back in a bottle. You got to go find new lightning. And 3 years removed, I think a lot of folks just want to go back to what they know, and I get that. But the idea of trying to go get Jock Peterson and Soler and Rosario is the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss over the top. 1-1. 0-1, excuse me. One of the issues is you get Rosario in a trade, you can't put him in left and right. He's a terrible defensive outfielder. The 0-1. Fastball right there at the knee. He's called for a strike. It's 0-2. 94. So I'm looking for guys that can maybe you can slide into left or put in right. Probably not going to be leadoff hitters. And this is the list that I came up with. We'll continue this as the game goes on. But Ahmed Rosario of Tampa Bay is the 0-2 pitch, swung on, lifted into left center field. That ball is going to get down for a base hit. It's an RBI double for Eddie Rosario, and Washington leads it 1-0. It was a fastball that just got way too much of the plate, 95, but center cut, and Eddie took it the other way. And so Ahmed Rosario would be a guy that you could add into the fold as a part of a platoon. He's not a great hitter. He's a solid everyday player, and he can play infield and outfield, so that's kind of but the other guy for Tampa Bay would be Harold Ramirez. He's got a little bit of a thump. He's a decent right fielder. But once again, this doesn't solve the leadoff issue. As the first pitch on the way to Ruiz is a curveball down and away. It's 1-0. In Boston, I really like the Tyler O'Neill aspect of it. He's a power hitter. You can put him in left. Is the 1-0. Curveball misses inside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. And Tyler O'Neill is on that short deal in Boston. And that could be, and obviously the Braves have been trade partners with Boston before, so there should be some common ground there. The 2-0, off the plate wide, ball 3, 3-0. So 3-0 count. Another guy that's going to be hit, everyone's going to be talking about. I just don't know how he'll fit in our locker room. Is a 3-0 pitch. Off the plate, wide ball 4. And Charlie, after giving up a run, has now walked a batter. And we got runners on first and second, still 2 out. That'll bring up the power hitting bat of Jesse Winker. And he could honestly be a guy that you could bring in. Had a couple of down years, but you can play him in the outfield. He's played right quite a bit of his career. Had a couple of great seasons with Cincinnati as the first pitch on the way is a fastball way out of the zone. It's 1-0. Might want to go out there and talk to try and get his head back in the game. I mean, it just seems like his mechanics are off. He's about to throw his 19th pitch. The 1-0. Curveball misses inside, 2-0. So Murphy's at least going to go talk to him, even if Krantz isn't going to get off the bench. Another name you're going to see circling a lot because he plays for a bad Chicago White Sox team, and he does play the outfield, and he can play right field. But once again, he's been known to be kind of a cancer in the clubhouse, and that's Tommy Pham. One thing we know you can't do, you can't bring Tommy Pham and Jock Peterson in because the two of them hate each other. But if you've ever seen any of the stuff from Tommy Pham, I mean, he's not a likable person. I'll put it that way. The 2-0, curveball swung on, grounded up the middle, and it dribbles through the hole, seeing eye single, and Washington leads it 2-0. I mean, you couldn't have rolled that in a better position. He pulled the ball on the ground. The Braves were playing him to pull, but just right of the second base bag, and Arcia just had too far to go to get it. So runners will be on the corners and 2 outs, and the Braves trail 2-0. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not a fan of Tommy Pham, just as a person. I mean, some of the things I've seen with him, all right, I'll put it bluntly, he's a jackass. And I just don't think that he would click well in the Braves clubhouse. And I would think they're doing their due diligence and they would be familiar with all the videos. It's first pitch on the way. It swung on, chop, foul down the line. It's 0-1. And I'm always willing to give guys a second and third chance, but when it seems like once a year you see something pop up with this guy. And there's got to be a reason why Arizona didn't bring him back, because he had a very good postseason. The 0-1. Did they go around? They said that he did. Nick Senzel, the number 7 hitter, gets a strike. It's 0-2. Now, this is one of the guys that I like the most, and if we could get him in, it would be as the 0-2 pitch, curveball down in the dirt, good snag by Murphy. The runner took off Winker. He'll steal second, but Murphy kept the ball from getting away in yet another run. So a 1-2 count, runners on second and third, 2 outs. Charlie Morton trying to find his control. The pitch, swing, and fouls it away, 94 miles an hour, 1-2. So a 1-2 count, righty, the pitch on the way. Did he go around? They're going to check down the line. He did not. First base umpire Nick Lentz said he held up. Evens up the count. This guy, once again, is a very good, a solid player that I like a lot. Taylor Ward of the Los Angeles Angels. The only problem with him is once again, he's got, is it the 2-2 pitch, swung on, laced into left field, and that's going to get down. That's going to clear the bases, and Washington leads it 4-0. Charlie Morton absolutely out there spitting the bit. Here in the first inning, the Braves find themselves in a hole once again. But he is he will be under club control through 2026. So if you get a Taylor Ward, A, what are you going to have to give up for him? And B, what do you do with them next year? So that's probably not realistic unless you're going to make a move in the offseason. First pitch on the way to the number 8 hitter, Gallo, with a runner on second and 2 outs. Braves trail. Four nothing. The 0-1. Curveball misses outside wide. 0-1. Yeah, see the Randy Arozarena? That one's really unrealistic. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, curveball down and in, 1-2. Arozarena, who is 29 years old, won't be an unrestricted free agent until 2027. He's still in arbitration, which means for the Braves to make that move, they're going to have to unload everything. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. But not before Charlie coughs up 4. We'll try to go get him some runs. Hey, we got a couple of good bats back in the lineup. Maybe we'll get back to our old ways.
Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you owe me money saying I ain't forgot about you, it's not a form of payment.
Let's be realistic. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that? You're not
because
sure
you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. In Kentucky.
Okay. That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you.
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky.
Armchair.
Is this our vacation?
Yeah.
Oh. Are we trash?
Kinda.
Oh.
I was talking to this girl and she said, you know what, I call my the lotto because guys are lucky to hit it. And I turned around and looked at her, I said, I thought you called it that because you're always scratching it.
Great is baseball, the national tonic, the reviver of hope, the restorer of confidence. The Sporting News.
The idea of a baseball game on a sunny spring or summer day is the spontaneity of going. Let's go to the park, you say, at 2 o'clock when the game were played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go to the bleachers. And you go and you get a ticket and you sit down. You hadn't thought about it in the morning, but if you were free, you say, for one reason or another. And it was the spontaneity of it. And sitting there in the sunshine and watching experts, good, skilled craftsmen, ply their trade.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Mitchell Parker, first time we'll have seen him. Steps to the mound. The first pitch is a 93-mile-an-hour fastball called for a wide strike by Lance Martinsdale, which is typically his MO. It's 0-1. Really strange that Barksdale had kind of a tight zone there in the first inning because the couple of curveballs that missed for balls that really got that inning out of control were realistically on the heels of Barksdale with the tight zone. The 0-1. So back to realistic possibilities for Acuna. Another player, now this one's really probably right in their wheelhouse, especially considering what we've done with this organization in the past, is the 0-1 pitch swung on, and that ball is going to get dribbled into right field, and that is down for a base hit. hey, it's going to look like a scalding shot in the scorebook. And our leadoff hitter is on, one on, nobody out. Austin Riley coming to the plate. So J.J. Bleday, who's been playing pretty good baseball, he's only 26 years old. And he's got 8 home runs. As the first pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Austin Riley batting .243 with 18 RBIs, 707 OPS. The pitch. Chops. Kind of an excuse-me check swing turns into a chopper over at first. And that will essentially move the runner over to second. It was essentially like a sacrifice bunt without being a bunt. Riley was trying to hold up last second, and his bat head smacked the ball. And it ends up being a ground out, but at least it was a productive one as it gets the runner into scoring position. Can't hit a 5-run home run, so you just want to kind of chip away here at this lead. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. So the J.J. Bleday one to me is interesting. He's got speed. He plays pretty good outfield defense, right fielder, left fielder. He's played a little center as well. Just 26 years old. He's on a 1-year deal. The 0-1 swing, and that ball's lifted into left center field. Making the catch, a running catch by the center fielder Young. On the play, Ozzie goes from second to third, 2 away. Hard hit ball by Ozuna, but a very good play by Young. He was on the fly and just kind of stuck his glove up, and look what I found. So 2 down. Jacob Young was the outfielder that made the catch. 24-year-old out of Ponte Vedra, Florida. So essentially Jacksonville. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1. Ozzie creeping down the line, swung on, pops it up, and that's going to be an easy can of corn into left field. Making the catch is Rosario, and that'll end the inning. Braves trail 4-0. We head to the second. See if Charlie Morton can turn things around.
I started drinking at 6 a.m. We're here now. I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep. And those cars are going real fast and real left, son. They're going fast and left. Yeah.
Think you can run this school? If you could, then I wouldn't be here, would I? No one talks in my meetings. No one! Mr. Zarella, you are now my new head football coach. Mr. Darnell will be your assistant. You know why you're being demoted, Mr. Darnell? Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. Thank you. Sit down. I want precision. I want a weight program. You've tried it your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
So nothing bad happened? You didn't wreck it? You didn't hit anybody? You didn't run anybody over? You didn't get a speeding ticket? Why are you making that face?
For 3 seasons, even the mighty hitting of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth could not deny the American League championship to Connie Mack's still mightier Philadelphia Athletic. His newly constituted A's won back-to-back World Series in 1929 and 30, and the pennant in 1931. Mack's finest pitcher was Robert Moses Lefty Grove. He was a savage competitor who sometimes threw at his own teammates in batting practice. The A's hitters rivaled even the Yankees' murderer's row. But the most frightening hitter was first baseman Jimmy Fox, XX, who hit 58 home runs one season, just 2 short of the record Babe Ruth had been sure would never be broken. He cut off his sleeves to display his massive bicep. Even his hair has muscles, a pitcher complained. Opposing players called him the Beast. Jimmy Fox wasn't scouted, a pitcher said. He was trapped.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves. Charlie Morton will go back to work. The first pitch on the way to Charlie is popped up, foul back behind home plate. It's 0-1. Trying to drop a bunt. Young trying to find any way to get on. See if the screen has fixed itself. It has. The 0-1. Down and away. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Kicks and fires, swung on. That ball is laced into right field. Went the other way with that pitch and just dropped it into right field, and it's going to be 1 on, nobody out, and Charlie struggling once again. Here comes the top of the lineup. First pitch on the way to C.J. Abrams is a curveball right there at the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Welcome, JC, new member of Country Club. Charlie Morton turns around and fires it over to first, and he picked off Young. Hey, JC brought us some good luck. Young was leaning towards second, kind of digging his foot in, and Charlie turned around and flipped it over to first, and he's kind of feet were in cement, couldn't get back over there. Young is looking over like, am I out? Man, he was out by quite a bit. I don't know what he was. I think he was hoping he was going to get bailed out. Whatever he said, Matt Olson's laughing about it, because that's about as much of a laugh you'll ever get out of Olson, just kind of like a wry grin. First pitch on the way since then was the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a missed fastball right down the pipe. It's 0-2. Sometimes things like that can get a team going. The 0-2. Dragged foul towards the first base dugout, the Braves side. Do it again. Ozuna leaned over the deck and grabbed it. One of the best catches he's ever made. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, lifted high and deep, and it's gone. Charlie Morton has given up his 5th run. C.J. Abrams, who hammered that ball into the right field seats, and Washington leads it 5-0. That ball was absolutely scorched. So that'll bring the right-handed bat of Lane Thomas to the plate. Swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 1-1. 0-1, excuse me. Man alive. So an 0-1 count. Kicks and fires. Cutter at the knees. 0-2. Those of y'all listening on radio that can't see the screen, that the gist of what Charlie Morton's been doing today, he's just got really bad location. The 0-2. Curveball off the edge. 1-2. That's not really been the name of his game this year. This year he's actually been really accurate on his pitches, but today he just does not have it. Sometimes a starting pitcher goes out there and they just don't have it. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul down the line. We'll do it again. I don't think they would trade Acuna. I like the idea of the Braves coming back and winning the World Series. Once again with Acuna is the 1-2 pitch. Caught, looking, strike 3. Sinker up top, 94, just froze him 2 down. I know there's a lot of fans that he's loved or hate in Braves country. I I love watching Acuna play. I get why a lot of Braves fans are not as big of fans of him, because he will frustrate you, and now the injuries. But I just don't think you're going to trade a generational talent like that. First pitch on the way to Garcia, swung on, smoked over to second, an atom ball to Ozzie, and that will end the inning.
I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz and nobody beats me.
I need you to be honest with me.
I'm being honest with you, dude.
This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest.
And I will, yeah, dude.
Yeah. What are you on right now?
Cloud nine. What? On cloud nine?
No. What are you on right now? You gotta be honest.
I'm on one, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Stop. What are you on right now, man?
TikTok. What? Instagram. All of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some.
Armchair. What your favorite type of ice cream says about you. If your favorite type of ice cream is chocolate or vanilla, you're a classic person. You tend to keep to yourself. You do have a lot of friends, though, and you're a pretty dope person. Now, if your favorite type of ice cream is pistachio, you either have a taste bud issue or you're 50. That's it. Now, chocolate chip cookie dough, you, my friend, are smart, immaculate, beautiful. Now, I don't know why, but when someone says their favorite ice cream is cotton candy, they're either 5 or they smell like the entire Bath and Body Works store. And if your favorite ice cream is coffee, you, my friend, have a coffee addiction. You should probably get that checked out.
Things change so fast in the United States. All of us had the experience, even by the time we're 40 often, of going back to the place where we grew up and finding everything changed. And something about baseball seems to tie us into that change, or to link us, to carry us across the decades and the times. As the new players come up and the old, formerly new players become old, there's a kind of continuity to it that we don't find in our neighborhoods, where the old factory is torn down, condominiums go up, and baseball, for all its changes, continues. 3 strikes are still an out.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Wish everybody a happy Memorial Day, and thank you to all our veterans. Sean Murphy comes up to the plate for the first time since opening day. The first pitch on the way is a curveball. Right there for a strike, it's 0-1. Murphy, as you would assume, got quite an ovation along with Riley when he came on. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Lefty, righty. Duvall on deck. Harris in the hole. The 1-1 swing and fouls it out of play. 1-2. So the moves that were made today, you may have missed it with it being a holiday and whatnot. We'll go over it real quick. The 1-2 from Parker. Lets her go. Swung on, chopped foul in between home and third towards the dugout, 1-2. Atlanta Braves activated Sean Murphy. They did not have to activate Riley. It was confusing some people on social media last night as the 1-2 pitch swung on. Hit hard on the ground, but right at Abrams. He'll flip it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, 1 away. Saw the different things that they were talking about, moving this guy down, that guy down. And the common theme was they were forgetting that Riley had not been put on the IL, which was frustrating a lot of us because you really could have used that extra body. But what happened today is the first pitch on the way to Adam Duvall is a 4-seam fastball right there at the knees. It's 0-1. The Braves bring Sean Murphy up, and they also put Acuna on the IL as the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike. It's 0-2. Riley was put in the lineup. Not an actual move had to be made. And then the other thing that they did of note was that they brought up an outfielder, J.P. Martinez, and DFA'd Joey Wendell. So he never even got to in at bat or in the field for the Braves. The 0-2. Swing and fouls that off. Do it again. Joey Wendell was added to the Braves roster late last week. But they knew they were going to have to bring up an outfielder. So an 0-2 count. One down, the pitch on the way, swing, and that ball is hammered down the left field line, plenty foul, off the facade of the second deck. Drops back into the crowd. J.P. Martinez, 28-year-old. We got him from Texas. It was a minor trade during the offseason, but we got him from Texas. As the 0-2 swung on, that ball's laced towards left, but right at Rosario. He'll make the catch, 2 down. Duvall's definitely seeing Parker well. He just couldn't time one up there. Parker, by the way, comes in today with the strikeout rate just a little bit below the league average at 21.7% for starting pitchers. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris II is up and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Curve ball. Drops in there for a strike. 1-1. J.P. Martinez in the minor leagues this year, playing for the Stripers in Gwinnett, is the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider off the edge, 1-2. He batted .265 in 170 plate appearances. 3 home runs, 14 stolen bases. But if you're wondering what his stats are in Major League Baseball, which is really what fans want to know, he's only had a very small sample size. The 1-2, swung on, chopped over towards second. Should be an easy play. A funny hop, but the second baseman, Garcia, sticks with it and flips it over to first to end the inning. Braves go quietly in the second. We'll head back to the third, trailing 5-0.
You saved $1 a day for a year. Do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
What did you eat before and after a match?
The pre-match meal was probably 3 Miller Lights and 2 Tylenols. That was the pre-match meal. And then afterwards, the post-match meal was probably 12 Miller Lights.
What your birthday says about you, friend group edition. If you were born the 24th to the 26th, then you are the partier. You're friends with everybody. You don't care who comes over, who has a good time with you, as long as you're there. If you were born the 6th, then you're definitely the weird one out of the group, but you're still really funny and people love to hang out with you. Now, if you were born the 14th through the 16th, you were definitely more of the quiet person. You'd rather just have all your friends come over, watch movies, whatever, but you'll still go out. Now, if you were born the 9th or the 10th, then you're the type of person that tries to get out of everything. You don't want to party, you don't want to do anything, you just want to sit home by yourself.
On June 3rd, 1932, Lou Gehrig did something even Babe Ruth had never done. He hit 4 home runs in a single game. But that extraordinary feat got him few headlines the next day. Something even more important to baseball had happened. John McGraw was leaving the game.
After 30 years of continuous services, John Joseph McGraw has resigned as manager of the Giants. At the age of 59, Mr. McGraw steps down because of failing health, with his Giants in last place. Mr. McGraw was a product of the the old school of baseball, when fistfights were common, when red liquor was sold at all the park, when only ladies of questionable social standing attended the game. To the end, he was faithful to his truculent creed. The last official act he performed as manager of the Giants was to file a protest with the league against Bill Clem, the umpire. Joe Williams, New York World-Telegram.
He died 2 years later, mourned by many as the greatest of all baseball managers, the winner of 10 pennants.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I know we're quick to, knee-jerk reactions, but Charlie Morton's had a good year this year. This is a terrible outing. First pitch on the way to Rosario is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Charlie Morton came in with a 3.35 ERA and a 1.2 whip, which is above average across the board. The 1-0, down and away, 2-0. But he definitely doesn't have it today. I just don't think they're going to pull him because they don't have a day off this week. They haven't had a day off in what it is stretch where the Braves will be playing 15 games in 14 days. Is the 2-0. Swing going to miss off the edge, 2-1. And I really think that what they are looking for Charlie Morton this year is to be hitting his stride towards the back end. Is the 2-1. Pushes that foul, try to drop a bunt, 2-2. But we got to get there. I mean, we can't just keep assuming we're going to be in the playoffs. We got to get to the playoffs, and preferably at least the top wild card. The 2-2. Curveball misses outside, ball 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball misses outside, ball 4. Back to other players that could be reasonably. So I really like the J.J. Bleday idea. He plays for Oakland. He's not on some long contract he's making league minimum this year, and we've made a ton of trades with the Oakland A's. So I really feel like that could be one that could be added as a piece. He's not going to be. We're not talking about adding a Mike Trout to the lineup. We're not talking about being able to go and getting Shohei Ohtani. You'll start seeing knuckleheads put all throughout social media over the next couple of months. You'll probably even have some of these goofy shows that'll do that for clickbait. First pitch on the way is a swing and fouled straight back by Ruiz. It's 0-1. I try to keep it as level-headed as it can because I don't want fans to believe in some nonsense that I'm spewing just to get a click. So back to guys that could realistically be got, and this is sooner than later. Other teams fall out of the mix as the 0-1 pitch swung on, belted down the right field line, but foul into the upper deck. Thank goodness it was about a football field right of the foul pole, 0-2. So the 0-2. Righty, lefty, pitch on the way, outside wide, 1-2. Charlie Morton about to throw his 53rd pitch of the day. The pitch high and out of the zone, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Sean Murphy turned around and flipped it down to first to keep the runner close by. So J.J. Bleday could be someone that you could add now is the point of this list. Other teams start falling out of the mix towards the deadline in late July as the 2-2 pitch swung on. That ball smoked into center field, and you got runners on first and second. Nobody out. Charlie Morton. I know they don't want to waste the pen, but I just feel like you need to go out there and just get him. I mean, give him the day off. He doesn't have it. Figure it out. get him set for his next start, which will be on Saturday with no days off. First pitch on the way to Winker is a curveball up top for a ball. It's 1-0. So other ideas would be Brendan Donovan from the St. Louis Cardinals. He is a leadoff hitter. Is the 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. He can play outfield. He can play infield. He's always been more hype than actual production, but he's a solid piece. You may not even want him in the leadoff role. Maybe you put him at the number 9 role. As Kranitz goes out there to talk to Charlie Morton. What's funny about Kranitz, I've always noticed this about the pitchers. A lot of your pitching coaches, they go out to the mound and they go to talk to the pitcher. And they usually have their undivided attention. You watch Kranitz go out there. Most of the guys are like turning their head away. I don't know what he says, but you can tell it's not necessarily grabbing their attention. So a 2-0 count. Righty-lefty, pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled down the line, 2-1. So I honestly thought that we were going to get to see Forrest Wall. But the only reason why I think that may not be the case is they're continuing to get him a lot of ABs down on the farm as the 2-1 pitch, swatted back, fouling out of play, 2-2. He could end up being one of the answers, and then you bring in another minor addition, and maybe that forces your hand to have to go get a right-handed bat, not a left-handed. So if that's the case, then you can take Ward and Blade off the table. The 2-2 pitch swung on, grounded over towards first. Olson's going to step on the bag. Was it fair? I believe they're calling that foul. Kind of a late call by Nick Lentz. It bounced in fair territory, but crossed over the bag foul. So a 2-2 pitch, swing, and just got a piece of that. Winker chops it foul back behind the plate. He's 1 for 1. So if that's the case, then any of these left-handed bats that I'm mentioning are not going. You do have Kevin Pillar sitting out in the Angels organization too. If you wanted to bring Forrest Wall up, is the 2-2 pitch down below the knees, and the runners are on the move, and Sean Murphy tosses it down to first, but Rosario has third base stolen with ease. It's a high throw. So a full count. The pitch. Swatted foul. No, he missed it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The way that first thing came up, I thought he had gotten a piece of it to stay alive, but blew it right by him. That was my mistake. So Honest Engine, I'm not terribly concerned about it in the short term, as the Charlie Morton's got another one picked off, and we got a move going on. Rosario's going to make it down to make it down to home and score. And they get the runner in the rundown. It's 6-0 Washington, but there are 2 outs. That might have been by design. Ozzie, by the time he looked over and realized what was going on, they had Rosario. I think if Ozzie turns around and throws it to Riley immediately, Riley or Murphy, they would have had Rosario in the rundown. Instead, it's 6-0 Washington. Cutter is swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Pitch on the way, high and out of the zone, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. So the guys we just went over are the realistic moves you could make short term. The 1-1 pitch, swing, and fouls back out of play. 1-2. And these are from teams that are out of the mix realistically. Colorado is not making the playoffs. Oakland, the Angels. It doesn't look good for Toronto or Tampa Bay. You can throw Miami and the Mets in there, but that's an interdivision rival, and I don't think they're going to make trades. The 1-2, high and out of the zone, 2-2. Arizona is a team you want to keep an eye on because if they continue to play poorly, they could be willing to trade a guy. I know someone that we would all love to see back in a Braves uniform. Is a 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The ball gets away. The batter did not realize it had gotten away, so Murphy's got all day to toss it down to Olsen, and that'll end the inning. But up before Charlie coughs up a couple more runs, it's 6-0. Arcia, Kelnick, and Albies coming to the plate.
I asked my wife what she wanted for Valentine's Day, and she said a divorce. I said I wasn't planning on spending that much money.
In the late 50s and early 60s, the state of Florida was responsible for 2/3 of all loss-of-limb accident claims in the U.S., due largely to one town, Vernon, Florida. This was because Vernon was the site of a widespread insurance scam where residents would dismember themselves for a payout. The problem was so extensive that the town became known as Nub City for this very reason. One man claimed he shot his foot when he mistook it for a squirrel. These claims generally received payouts of $5,000 to $10,000, but as the scam went on, the claims increased in value as the residents became bolder. This practice finally ended in the late 60s when premium rates became too high.
I am sick. I am sick of your And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Just so y'all know, I am too old to be going out anywhere past 10 p.m. Please only invite me to brunch and day parties.
Satchel was just about some of everything. He was like, we had a good baseball team. When Satchel pitched, we had a great baseball team.
Number one, that's a fastball. He called that his midnight rider. The changeup, he called that 4-day creeper.
He kicked his leg impossibly high before pitching. Then he'd throw around that foot.
I was playing with Toledo Crawford, the first team in 1940, and I heard about Satchel. So I said, well, I'm going to stay up here a whole week after the season over and see Satchel, because I'd never seen him before. So I was up in the grandstand, bashful like I was, you know. I went up by myself, and the game started, and Satchel threw the ball. I didn't see anything. The man threw the ball back. He threw it again. I didn't see nothing. I said, he playing shot a ball? So next inning, I went down there where behind the stop. I just saw a little glimpse. He was throwing the ball. But in the grandstand, I couldn't see it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. So the thing that happened with as the first pitch on the way to Arcia is well outside wide. Fastball misses for ball. It's 1-0. Thing that happened with Acuna and Freddie, what ran Freddie off had nothing to do with Acuna as the 1-0 pitch. Just misses down below 2-0. In fact, when Freddie went to the Dodgers, he was asked about his relationship with Acuna a few times, and the whole thing was overblown. That was the 2-0 pitch is up top for a strike, 2-1. That was a clickbait rag that started that rumor. But what ran Freddie off was a corrupt agent that hid the numbers during Freddie Freeman's contract negotiations. The 2-1. Foul back behind home plate, slaps against the screen, 2-2. Freddie did not know until he came to visit Atlanta in his first return in a Dodgers uniform what had really gone down during those negotiations. Remember, one of the things that made it so difficult was that was the year of the lockout as the 2-2 pitch, swung on, chopped foul towards third base. So a 2-2 count. That was the year of the lockout. So there was no communications available, period, during the lockout. And then it was a very quick negotiation process after the lockout was lifted as the 2-2. Splitter misses high and outside, 3-2. So that's why Freddie broke into tears during the press conference, was because he did not know is the payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike three, 93, blew it right by him up top, went away. He did not know until after the fact that the Braves had given a very competitive salary offered to Freddie. And on top of that, as the first pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Jared Kelenic is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. He was not aware that the agent had given the Braves an ultimatum. It's the 0-1, swing and a miss off the plate. It's 0-2. So Freddie had not heard the numbers, and the numbers, if you compare the AAV, and considering that he was not in California where you pay much higher taxes, is the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Kelenic will be seeing left-handers more often now. We'll see how he does. He's pretty much been going up against the right-handed bats. That's why I do believe they're going to go out and try to add a right-handed bat, even if it is someone like a Kevin Pillar. So back to the whole Freddie thing. He broke down into tears because he had found out as the first pitch on the way to Ozzie is swung on and grounded foul down the line. It's 0-1. He'd found out that not only did the Braves give a solid offer, which he probably would have taken, but also that the ultimatum was given within 24 hours, take it or leave it kind of thing, as the 0-1 pitch laced foul down the line. It's 0-2. Second time through the lineup for the Braves to see Parker. Ozzie is 1 for 1. With that being said, when that happened and he was given the ultimatum, that's when Anthopoulos turned around and made the trade for Matt Olson. As the 0-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone, 1-2. Because it looked like they were not going to accept the offer, it would have turned into the Braves left holding the bag is the 1-2 pitch, swing and foul back out of play. Do it again. And Anthopoulos wanted to make the trade before it was known that Freddie had signed with the Dodgers, because then the leverage really goes towards teams like Oakland that were wanting to make a trade. So a 1-2 count, down and away, 2-2. That was all a rumor too about the whole Freddie's wife wanting to move out of Atlanta. Is the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves going quietly once again. We'll be back in a flash heading to the fourth.
Y'all, I can't wait for my daughter to get her first car. First thing I'm going to do is stomp out a bag of hot Cheetos in the carpet and pour some soda all over the back seat.
So someone today accused me of being a racist, and I've got to say, I don't think it has anything to do with your skin color at all. I think it has everything to do with your species. I don't know if you know this, but humans, we suck, dude. We suck, bro. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Don't care. You're a human, dude. You probably suck. 9 times out of 9.5 times, you suck, bro. We all do, bro. We are selfish, self-centered, ungrateful, ugly, ignorant, nasty people, bro. Have you met a dog before? Those are cool as
Dad, I was wondering if I could plan the family New Year's Eve party.
No.
What? Why not?
Because your mother always plans it.
What the heck? Just let me be in charge this one time.
The only thing you're in charge of is your own
bodily functions. Yeah, you say that every time.
I mean it every time.
Come on, how come you get to make all the rules?
I'm following the only rule that matters, the golden rule, jackass.
What's the golden rule?
He who has the gold makes the rules.
Oh my God.
What do you expect me to do? I mean, that's what I get paid to do. Did you see us play UCLA? I mean, if you're not going to try to motivate somebody after that, then I'll be damned if I shouldn't even get paid.
See, Satchel did to black baseball just what Ruth did to white baseball. See, because Ruth kept the franchises going. this Ruth after the Black Sox scandal. Here comes a Ruth, and he brings it back. And this is the same thing that happened to us. This Satchel came. This is a guy that the people wanted to see, and he never failed.
The average black player was paid $200 to $300 a month. Page made several times that amount.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Charlie Morton goes back to work. The shadows are now crossing over between home and the pitcher's mound. As the first pitch on the way from Charlie Morton standing in the sunshine to the shaded home plate as a fastball misses outside the gallows. It's 1-0. The 1-0, swing and a miss curveball. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Righty lefty, pitch on the way, fastball right there, top of the zone, 1-2. But all in all, that whole thing with Acuna and Freddie and how the dust settles, you can't complain how that worked out because Matt Olson, who's from the area and wanted to be here, is the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball off the edge. Went away. He's from the area, and he immediately signed a club-friendly deal to stay in Atlanta for the foreseeable future. So with that being said, you kind of just have to move on from that whole nonsense. As the first pitch on the way is a sinker down and away, it's 1-0. But what it really came down to was Freddie was ticked off at his agent. It's why he fired his agent the weekend he came here. Is the 1-0. Swung on, lifted high into center field. Going back and trying to make the catch as Ozzie. It's just past his reach, and Harris was playing deep enough where he couldn't get to it, so it's a 1-out single. Could Freddie be lured back? I mean, when he becomes a free agent at the end of his career, I could see him coming in playing DH, but it really depends on what the Dodgers end up offering him down the line. I would never put it past the realm of possibility. You see guys go back home all the time. But since he's from California, you just, I don't know. First pitch on the way. It's outside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Charlie flips it over to first again. He's already picked 2 off today. Heck, I never thought Tom Glavine was coming back until he came back in 2008, his final season. When he left to go to the Mets. The 0-1, swung on, lifted into center, left field. That's going to get down for another base hit, weakly hit ball. But Abrams hit them where they ain't, and there's 2 on, 1 out. So if Tom Glavine can come back from the Mets, anybody can come back. But I don't think we would see, if you're wondering if he could be traded here, no. I mean, there's not really a place for him. But at the end of his 5-year deal, if you don't have Ozuna at the designated hitter position, then maybe. First pitch on the way for Morton is swung on by Thomas. That's going to be a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. We'll come back, and Riley will lead us off.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, bud?
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to be a rock star.
Why didn't you become one?
'Cause of you, bud. I smiled at one girl in a cell phone store, and now here I am stuck eating cereal for dinner with a kid.
You'll always be a rock star to me, Dad.
You ruined my life.
Hold it again, please. Hold it again. Ozuna down the left field line, and we're tied at 5.
quotes in Spartan history. When King Agesilaus was questioned about how Sparta lacked fortifications, he would merely point at his men and say, "These are Sparta's walls." When the aging king was asked, "How far do Sparta's boundaries reach?" he simply held out his spear and answered, "As far as this can reach." When King Philip was expanding his empire across Greece, he sent a letter to the current Spartan king, asking if he wanted him to enter his lands as a friend or a foe. The only response Philip ever received was a single-word reply, "Neither." When King Philip of Macedon sent a message to Sparta, he said, "If once I enter into your territories, I will destroy ye all, never to rise again." The Spartans' reply was simply the word, "if."
Armchair.
Satchel Paige had a good arm, a strong arm with no muscles. He had just like a slingshot. I grabbed his arm one day. I said, "Hey, Satchel," I said, "you ain't got muscles." He said, "No, but I can sling that ball up there."
He knew how to pitch. See, that's one thing. And then, you know, when he got ready to warm up, he wouldn't look for no plate or glove. He'd try to find him a piece of chewing gum or match them. He said, "This is what I'm aiming at." See, and he would throw it. And then another thing about Satchel, when he was on the road, he liked to drive fast. So I was driving, and so we was going from Little Rock to New Orleans. He says, he called me home, y'all. He said, "Hey, homie." He said, "Pull over." I said, "What for, Satch?" He said, "There's a man behind us in a wheelbarrow." He said, "We want to let him by." Well, I was doing about 80, you know, and so, hey, at that rate, you know, hey, I wasn't going fast enough for him.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. On this Memorial Day, first pitch on the way. Austin Riley swung on and hammered foul down the right field line. Out of play. 0-1. Riley, first game back from the IL. He's 0 for 1. Along with Murphy. He's back in case you're just joining us. The 0-1 pitch. Down and away splitter. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The pitch. Swing and fouls it back. 1-2. Yeah, Olsen definitely out-hit Freddie last year. 54 home runs. That's an Atlanta Brave record. And last time I checked, Freddie was an Atlanta Brave. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and fouls it down the line. 1-2. You also got to look at the age factor, too. Olsen's a few years younger than Freddie, so is the 1-2. Lefty righty, the pitch. Up top, did he go around? He did not. 2-2. Looked like he might have grabbed the zone, but Riley will live to tell the tale. So a 2-2 count. The pitch on the way to Riley, swung on, chopped towards the third base tarps over there, just bounced just in front of it. You had a 2-2 count. The pitch. Inside looking, strike 3. Slider just froze him. 1 away. You got to look at the numbers with Olsen is too. In fact, he's been so consistent over the years with his power numbers. And you're paying him a lot less than you would have had to pay Freddie, and you've got him for a longer deal. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is off the plate wide for a strike. It's 0-1. One thing I will give to Freddie over Olsen, better base runner and better defender. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. But over 162 game season, year after year, I mean, I'd be hard pressed to find a better first baseman in Major League Baseball. So an 0-2 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider got him working. Really thought the Braves would get to Parker today. He is rolling. That home run that Olsen hit yesterday, man. That was an absolute bomb. Ended up in the Allegheny River. Matt Olsen stands in, 8 home runs on the year. The first pitch on the way is a slider strike on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Olsen, 29 RBI. The 0-1. Swing, and that ball's lifted high into center field, but not very deep. Making the catch is Young. F8 in your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down once again. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
It's fine. We'll buy it and we'll return it.
All sales are fine.
Come on. I'll show you what's final, you I will burn you alive like the last you crossed me.
Okay, all right. That's not getting us anywhere, okay? She's hot.
I went hot real fast. It just happened.
Y'all, my wife and I have been happily married for 16 years. The other day I decided to watch a movie without her, and all of a sudden I'm moving funny.
American history lesson. You don't know nothing about Lady Liberty. Standing there in the harbor with her torch on high, screaming out to all the nations of the world, send me your poor, your deadbeats, you filthy. And all the nations sent them in here. They come swarming in like ants. And they're all free to live where they feel safe. And they bust your head if you go in there. That's what makes America great, buddy.
Here's Jackson, the last time at bat possibly in Reggie Jackson's career. Listen to the crowd. Broken bat up the middle, base hit, Reggie Jackson.
Anyone else find functional alcoholics fascinating? Like, these will drink a 30-pack of the most disgusting beer on earth, get blackout drunk, and then wake up the next morning at 6:30 a.m. and go to a manual labor job in the direct sunlight where they work all day. The only thing that they'll consume is like a gas station hot dog and Mountain Dew, and they will be totally fine, and then when they're done work, go right back to drinking again and do the whole thing all over.
One of the things about baseball is the imagination of people. When something remarkable happens, I was there in their imaginations. When Babe Ruth allegedly pointed to right field bleachers before hitting his home run there against the Cubs in that World Series, I've had at least maybe 100 people tell me, I was there. If everybody who said they were there really at Cubs Park would seat 500,000 people.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Charlie Morton will go back to work. First pitch on the way is a drop bunt by Garcia again. Goes well foul towards the third base dugout. It's 0-1. Be interesting to see if a lot of teams start doing this, but I think the game plan for some of these batters for the Nationals has been to anticipate his curveball and try to drop bunt the curveball. The 0-1, swing and a miss, strike down and in, it's 0-2. And he does lead a lot of at-bats off with throwing that curveball, so that may be playing into it because it's a lot easier to bunt a curveball than there is a fastball. The 0-2 pitch swung on, pounded over towards the shortstop side, but Riley, playing in the shift, grabs it and fires it across the diamond. 6-3 put out, one away. One down. Morton is about to throw his 80th pitch of the day. So you got to figure, come hell or high water, this is definitely his last inning. First pitch on the way to Rosario is a cutter off the plate wide. It's 1-0. Maybe if he has an extremely quick inning, he can go out there and give him a sixth. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, change up over the top, 1-1. Eddie Rosario, 1 for 1. Stolen base, a run scored. So a 1-1 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Curveball down and in, 1-2. Same two teams will be back at it tomorrow night and through Thursday is the 1-2 grounded foul of the first base bag, 1-2. Braves and Nationals, 7:20 first pitch the next three nights. We'll come on the air for the pregame show a half hour before. Hopefully we don't have the same those technical difficulties. I think I figured out the issue. Is the 1-2, outside wide 2-2. And again on Friday night they'll host the Oakland Athletics. Maybe the A's can just drop off a couple of their outfielders and leave them here in Atlanta as they get on the plane. The 2-2 rifled over to first. Atom ball to Olsen, 2 away. The 2 down. That'll bring in the left-handed bat of Ruiz, the hind catcher. First pitch on the way is a cutter. He called that a strike? We'll take it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 from Morton. Kicks and fires. Down below the knees. Sinker misses, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. For you country club members, I gave up on the Charlie Morton emoji and put the beer emoji back up there as the 1-2. Down below the knees, right there, first strike, 1-2. I figure y'all might need a cold one as opposed to Uncle Charlie. So a 1-2, swing, and that ball's lifted high into center field, going back on the track. Making the catch is Michael Harris, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We may see Charlie for the 6th. We'll see what happens. Murphy leads us off when we come back.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate, how to answer a question without a question, which I thought, given your wall of diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute. But now, to turn around and gang up on me, I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number, like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
The donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue. The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me?" The lion replied, "The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions."
Sure, he called a shot. No question about it. The difficulty is, did he point? Did he stand extravagantly and point to center field the way William Bendix did in that terrible movie? No, he didn't.
Ironically, Gehrig was the real star of the Yankees' 4-game sweep, but few would remember his performance in the face of all the publicity Ruth got. Ruth himself was evasive when asked if he really had called his shot. "It's in the papers, isn't it?" he said. "Why don't you read the paper?" 1 month later, Franklin Roosevelt was elected president, pledged to bring his country out of the Depression. "I have no expectation of making a hit every time I come to bat," Roosevelt said. "What I seek is the highest possible batting average, not only for myself, but for my team."
Welcome back to Brave Country Baseball, your out-of-town scoreboard on this Memorial Day. Thank you, veterans, and thank you for everyone who gave the ultimate price, no longer here with us, so we can do things like taking a ball game on a Monday afternoon. First pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is swung on and hit hard on the ground, but right at the third baseman. 5-3 put out Senzel to Gallo. 1 away. The out-of-town scoreboard looks like this so far. Reds lead the Cardinals 3-1. That's in the 6th. Guardians Rockies, it's 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th. I believe Stephen Kwan came off the IL today. First pitch on the way to Duvall is up top for a strike. It's 0-1. That Reds game, Lodolo was coming off the IL as well. Cubs Brewers 0-0 in the going to the 7th. Phillies and Giants are scoreless in the 2nd. These games are already in the book as the 0-1 pitch misses outside, 1-1. It's been really random when home plate umpire Barksdale is giving that outside strike to both pitchers. Sometimes that pitch he just threw is a strike. Sometimes it's a ball. It's the 1-1 way high and out of the zone, 2-1. That was a slider that didn't slide. Earlier today, Orioles 11-3 over the Red Sox. That game was never in doubt. They jumped to an early 7-0 lead. Twins hold off the Royals 6-5 as the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, pumped the fastball right by him. 2-2. And the Blue Jays beat the White Sox 5-1. Later on tonight at 6:40, Marlins are at the Padres and the Astros are at the Mariners. The 2-2 swung on, pops it up high down the right field side, well out of play towards the upper deck. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Tomorrow, thankfully, is Max Fried Day. We expect him to pitch a good one as the 2-2. Swing, and that ball's lifted high to left field. It's going to die just before the warning track. Making the catch is Rosario, 2 down. Looking at the big picture of where the Braves stand, because we're going to start keeping up with this on the wild card end of it. As the Braves sit 6 back in the division, you got to start looking at where you're at in the wild card. Normally don't wait to pay attention to the wild card till at least Memorial Day, but since it's in play right now, we might as well. His first pitch on the way to Michael Harris, lefty-lefty, fastball at the knees, it's 0-1. So as it stands right now, the Braves is the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-2. Braves come into today 30-20. So a 600 winning percentage, believe it or not, tied with the Dodgers. I know it's felt like an awful year, but it really hasn't been. The 0-2, outside wide. Did he go around? He did not. 1-2. Philly is 38-16, and that's why it's felt so bad, because of how hot the Phillies have been. So you got a 1-2 count, swung on, ball hit up the middle, and that'll get through for a base hit. And I have to make sure this soundbite still works. Hey, there we go. Knocked the dust off that sucker. Braves get their first hit since the first inning. Just the second overall. They had not had a hit since Ozzie Albies led the game off with the base hit to right. First pitch on the way to Arcia. He swings out of his shoes at a splitter down around his ankles. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Lefty, righty. Pitch on the way. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, splitter over the top. 0-2. I don't know if he's going to see anything but a splitter or a bender, because he has been well off of Parker's soft stuff all day long. So an 0-2 count. Splitter in the dirt. That one was well down. Do it again. If you're looking at the wild card in the National League, which is what we're looking at right now as we sit 6 back of the division, Atlanta Braves are 30-20. The Chicago Cubs 27-26. We are, is the 1-2 pitch, down and in, evens up the count 2-2. So that makes us 4.5 games in front of the, if you want something to feel good about, 4.5 games in front of the Cubs for the top wild card, which means you host the first round. The 2-2, outside wide, 3-2. We would host the Chicago Cubs because the 6th seed would go play the division winner that does not get the bye. As of right now, that would be Milwaukee. So you would get a San Diego-Milwaukee rematch as the 3-2 pitch swung on, laced towards center. Making a running catch is Young. Good, solid defensive work by Young today. That'll end the inning. Braves put one on, but can't get him across. Trail 6-0. We'll be back in a flash.
You're telling me that you believe that Christ comes back to life every Sunday in the form of a bowl of crackers, and then you proceed to just eat the man.
And I still maintain that if Deion Sanders would have played baseball his entire career, he would have been one of the greatest leadoff hitters to ever play the game because he was raw. He didn't even know what he was doing. He wanted to hit homers. He was so fast. He didn't even learn how to bunt yet. And he had such a capacity to change the game. He was great for us. It was jaw-dropping. I mean, he even played in the postseason. He would have been the MVP in '92. If we'd have won and beat the Blue Jays, he'd have been the MVP. That's how important he was. He's playing with a stress fracture in his foot. Words can't describe it.
Armchair. So someone told me that I need anger management, and I don't feel like I need anger management. I feel like I need people to not piss me off. You know what I mean? So to avoid going to anger management, I've compiled an extensive list here of things people can do to not piss me off. Ready? Number 1, leave me the alone. Thank you for your time.
I was listening to a guy talk today, and he was like, a woman that loves you will stick by you no matter how many times you cheat on them. And I was like, sounds like you're talking about your mama, because that ain't me.
I think in the past that certainly Brooklyn's character was defined by the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even just the name Dodgers coming from these trolley cars that everybody had to dodge. The idea that Brooklyn felt a stepchild to New York City and that somehow the Dodgers, the bums, were stepchilds too, that were going to show the hotty-toddy New Yorkers that we were really better than them, defined who Brooklyn was. And even in Long Island, where I grew up, I felt that sense of Brooklyn, and it was all part of the Dodgers. I don't know that that exists today in the same way that you define who you are through your team and through your city. And I think it's a loss. It means that people are more fragmented. They've got themselves and a few friends, but they don't have that group sense unless there's a win. But that's not the same. That's not what this was all about when I was growing up. We hardly ever won, and it didn't matter.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Winker is going to be slapped into center field, making a quick stop and firing into second, keeping that to just a single, a leadoff single. Good play by Michael Harris. He had to grab that against the weight of his body, fire it to second. It was an absolute bullet. Once again, Morton has let the leadoff hitter on. He's at 90 pitches. I really thought we would see someone else. Just give him a pat on the back and say, hey, go get him Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, that's the only broadcast later for the rest of the week that will not be 7:20. That is a 4:10 first pitch against the Oakland A's. First pitch on the way to Senzel is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. You got a 1-0 count. It's funny, there's not a lot of night games this Saturday in Major League Baseball as the 1-0 pitch swatted, slicing down the right field line out of play, 1-2. And they do that a lot when they're anticipating possible Game 6 type stuff for the NBA Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think either one of those series are going that long. They're both 3-0. Boston has a chance to kick the Pacers to the curb tonight as the 1-1 pitch is dribbled up the middle. That's going to be another single. Harris on it pretty quickly, keeps Winker to second. You got runners on first and second, nobody out. I mean, they are just hitting it where they ain't. A couple of times today, if that ball's hit over just a few inches to the right or the left, you're talking about possibly being able to turn to a double play or at least get one out. It happened in that 4-run inning in the first twice. Saw the question about the national starting pitcher. Mentioned this in the top of the game, top of the show. Mitchell Parker is a very good young prospect is the first pitch on the way to Gallows right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. I know he's not a household name, and a lot of baseball fans only, realistically pay attention to their team and the big names. As the 0-1 swing and a miss, 0-2. Jesse Chavez is warming up in the Braves bullpen. But his ERA now is down below 3. The 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Charlie Morton gets himself an out here in the top of the 6th. Morton, his 7th strikeout. The problem is he's given up 11 hits, 2 walks. Yeah, Mitchell Parker now has a 2.93 ERA. Is the first pitch on the way is swung on. That ball is scorched into right field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes a run, and they'll have runners on the corners, 1 out, and the Nationals lead at 7-0. Parker is just 24 years old. He was drafted by the Nationals in the 5th round. And that was in 2020. That was the year they only had 5 rounds. So teams were very particular on who they were drafting. They weren't taking guys they thought they could swing and miss on. So they obviously had high hopes for him, and here he is. First pitch on the way to C.J. Abrams is off the plate. Curveball misses. It's 1-0. Abrams, 2 for 3 on the day. Now, C.J. Abrams, he has always been one of the top prospects in baseball. Is the 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. He was the 6th overall pick by the San Diego Padres, drafted in 2019 at Roswell, Georgia. The 2-0. Swung on, chopped off his instep. 2-1. He would eventually come over in a trade. There's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Runner goes. He'll get under the tag with ease. Man, that used to be something that would get you some chin music. Stealing up 7-0. I don't think those same rules apply anymore. But that used to, man, that you did that to Smoltz, you did that to Glavine. You better hope you don't face him this season. So Braves will bring the infield in. The 2-2 pitch swung on, grounded foul in between home and first. We'll do it again. The 2-2. C.J. Abrams was the guy that came over in the big trades. The pitch on the way, swatted high and deep into right field. Making the catch on the warning track is Duvall. That'll plate the 8th run. That ball was that almost got to the wall. So Abrams gets himself another RBI. He was a part of the Juan Soto trade. The Juan Soto, Josh Bell to San Diego. C.J. Abrams was the main piece that they wanted back in that trade. They are going to come get Charlie Morton. We'll be back in a flash. He's at 103 pitches. Braves trail 8-0.
Vaughn's been working on a couple of new pitches, the Eliminator and the Humiliator, to complement his fastball, the Terminator.
I heard that.
Dynamite drop-in money. That broadcast school has really paid off.
Before Jackie Robinson, Moses Fleetwood Walker broke baseball's color barrier. In his third year of college, he enrolled at the University of Michigan. There he was the team's leading hitter, hitting both for average and power. In 1883, he would not return to Michigan, instead choosing to sign with the Toledo Blue Stockings, where he would start his journey to become a professional baseball player. He appeared in 60 of Toledo's 84 games in 1883, despite catching barehanded with his only protection being a mask behind home plate. Toledo's success in 1883 propelled them into the American Association, where they officially became a Major League Baseball team in 1884. This meant on opening day of the 1884 season, the starting catcher of the Blue Stockings would become the first African-American player to play a professional baseball game. During his only Major League season, he batted .263, third best on the team, and 23 points above the league average. Unfortunately, he would be plagued by injuries. His last game of the season would be in July when he suffered a season-ending injury. On September 22nd, he was released. The Blue Stockings folded in 1885, and Walker bounced around between minor league teams until 1888. In 1889, the American Association and the National League unofficially banned African American players. Regardless, he will forever be known as the player who broke baseball's color barrier and paved the way for Jackie Robinson.
Armchair.
Brooklyn had last won a pennant in 1920, but the Dodgers had never won a World Series. And with players like P. Ridge Day and Hot Potato Hamlin, they were best known for what one of their own managers called bonehead play. The most celebrated Dodger star was Babe Herman, who hit .393 in 1930, an all-time Dodger record. But he was famously inept in the field, carried lit cigars in his pockets, and once boasted that if a fly ball ever hit him on the head, he'd quit.
Welcome back. First pitch from Chavez to Thomas. Right there for a strike, it's 0-1. Lane Thomas 1 for 3 the double in the first. And a run scored, the 0-1. Cutter just misses down. 1-1. The 1-1 outside wide. 2-1. It's about that time to start turning back time. We'll do a few of these today. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, hit hard on the ground to short. RC has got it. Fires it over to first. That'll send us to the bottom of the sixth. Kelnick in the top of the order coming to the plate.
I'll take one terrible beer filled up way too high so I spill most of it, and a too long hot dog on a too short bun. And do you have mustard and relish?
Yeah, it's right there between the entrance and the exit to the bathroom.
Perfect. And can I get a bag of unsalted peanuts? You know, something I would never eat anywhere else in the world?
Sure, here you go.
Great, great. I can't wait to have diarrhea in the stall with no door while 20 guys wait for me to finish.
When we make what the men make and get the crowds that the men draw, then we should get paid the same. Literally, the men fund our leagues, and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. And honestly, it makes all of us look bad, because instead of being thankful for the league that we have, we go out and whine and complain about the pay. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain. Yes, let's not live in this delusion.
If it changes, I don't see why equality should be the only ambition for the women. If it turns out that in some sport women get more viewers watching and therefore draw more revenue, I'm all for them getting more money than the men.
Can you name 5 WNBA players? 5 female soccer players?
I mean, I can't name any.
Support
WNBA,
from the feminists.
I don't
we
know.
would get equal pay if we would just get the support from the feminists.
Well, let me tell you.
Name 5.
Let me tell you.
I don't even know what the WNBA is.
We need our support. Armchair.
It was an even bet that Babe would either catch it or get killed by it. His general practice was to run up when the ball was hit and then turn and run back and then circle about uncertainly. All this time the ball was descending, the spectators were petrified with fear, and Mr. Herman was chewing gum, unconcerned. At the proper moment, he stuck out his glove. If he found the ball there, he was greatly surprised and very happy.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves going to send Kelnick, Ozzie, and the rake to the plate. Jared Kelnick stands in. First pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted towards center field. Is that going to get down? No, it will not. Young makes another good running defensive catch. One away. San Francisco leads Philadelphia 3-2. That game is in the third. Ozzie Albies comes to the plate. He takes the first pitch outside wide from Mitchell Parker. For a ball, it's 1-0. Mitchell Parker is about to throw just his 70th pitch of the day here in the sixth inning. So the Braves haven't even been eating pitches, which is always a concern. The 1-0. Swing and a miss up top, splitter in and out of the glove. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Parker sits and fires. Off the plate wide, 2-1. Ozzie Albies 1 for 2 with a single in the first. So a 2-1 count is high and out of the zone. Ball 3-1. I have no inside knowledge of this, but the move that they made today makes you wonder something. Is the 3-1 pitch, swing and fouls it out of play, 3-2. So Chadwick Tromp is still on the roster. And if they send him down, he would have to go through waivers again. And I do believe someone would grab him this time. I was surprised someone didn't grab him last time. It's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, four-seam fastballs. Strike 3, 2 away. So it makes you wonder, with JP coming up, is there a move coming in the very near future that would explain why he was brought up and not Wall? The first pitch on the way to Riley is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Yeah, I was absolutely shocked that someone didn't grab Chadwick Tromp. When I saw him hit the waiver wire this year, it was during the spring, as the 0-1. Swing, and that ball's hammered down the line. Plenty foul. One thing's for sure, Austin Riley's hammering the ball. He's just not keeping it straight. I thought when they said that they had reassigned him, that he'd gone through waivers, reassigned him, I was shocked. I've always been impressed with Chadwick Tromp as a backup. The 0-2, swung on, hit hard on the ground right up the middle, but into the teeth of the shift. That'll be a 4-3 putout. We head to the seventh inning. Nationals, 8-0.
I accidentally spent $800 on phone sex.
I was doing my makeup in the rearview mirror and I ran over your golf clubs.
I burned a hole in your favorite dress.
You didn't get that promotion because I called your boss a fat ass at the Christmas party.
Well, I purposely dropped that bowling ball on your foot so you couldn't go to your high school reunion.
I'm 2 years older than you think I am!
Tonight, the information superhighway and one of its main thoroughfares, an online network called Internet.
The Internet, a global hookup that permits computers to exchange information. In 1981, only 213 computers were hooked to the Internet. As the new year begins, an estimated 2.5 million computers will be on the network, serving as many as 20 million people.
5 years from now, we're not going to have distinct cable and telephone industries. There's going to be one industry, and there'll be companies carrying bits, little pieces of information from point A to point B.
There are also interactive TV channels where people order movies on demand instead of driving to the local video store. High schoolers can get practice questions for the Scholastic Aptitude Test. These new services add about $10 a month to the average cable TV bill.
The Dodgers' best pitcher was Dazzy Vance, a hefty right-hander with an 83-inch reach, who had been the dominant strikeout pitcher of the 1920s. He literally had a trick up his sleeve.
You couldn't hit him on a Monday. He'd cut the sleeve of his undershirt to the elbow, and on that part of it he'd use lye to make it white, and the rest he didn't care how dirty it was. Then he'd pitch overhand out of the apartment houses in the background at Ebbets Field, between the bleached sleeve of his undershirt waving and the Monday wash hanging out to dry, the diapers and undies and sheets flapping on the clothesline. You lost the ball entirely. He threw balls by me I never even saw. Rube Bressler.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Eddie Chavez is swung on and banged off the plate foul. Garcia leads us off. It's one of the few Nationals that hasn't been on the hit parade. He's 0 for 3. The 0-1 right there for a strike. 0-2. Eddie Chavez. What did you say, Eddie? Jesse Chavez brings it. The 0-2, dribbled over to first. Olson will flip it to Eddie. I said it again. To Jesse, Uncle Jesse, covering the bag. One away. I don't know who is Eddie Chavez. What am I just getting Eddie Rosario and Jesse Chavez mixed together? So one down. One thing you like about Jesse when he comes in a game that's out of hand, this guy works fast, man. He does not mess around. First pitch on the way from Jesse is a changeup, swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and fires, swung on, chopped down the first base line, 0-2. You know, it's a team that has got some pieces that you would love to pick from, but the problem is their division rival is the Marlins, and they are well out of it. 0-2, outside wide 1-2. I still contend we're going to get something from the West Coast. If not the West Coast, Colorado's. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and fouled out of play. Angels, A's, Rockies, they all seem like targets. So a 1-2 count. The pitch. Swing and fouls it out of play. We'll do it again. One, two from Jesse. Swung on, grounded towards the first base dugout. Jesse sporting a 1.77 ERA. The 1-2 swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again. 40-year-old out of San Gabriel, California, drafted by the Rangers in 2002 from Riverside Community College. The 1-2 pitch swung on, and that is a dribbler in between home and first. It rolls foul. I think Eddie might have kicked it too, but the ball was already foul. So a 1-2 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Cutter. Got him swinging down and away. 2 down. So 2 down. First pitch on the way is a cutter at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Outside wide, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Chavez swung on, and that ball is going to get slapped into right field, down for a base hit. Duvall's got it. Fires it back into the infield. 2 away. So looking at the Braves roster right now, JP Martinez coming up. Tromp staying for the time being. The curveball swung on, lifted high, down the line. Making the catch is Riley, and that'll end the inning. Catches it over there by the third base Tarps to end the inning. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Get up and stretch, Braves country. We'll be back in a flash, talk about the roster, what it looks like today, what they may do tomorrow.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. Hey, we out to the top. Find me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back on the crew. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. So, in case you're just joining us or just trying to get your head straight as far as what the Braves roster looks like, the guys on the bench today, JP Martinez, who's an outfielder. By trade, he's essentially a left fielder, but he can play pretty much anywhere. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is a splitter, just grabs the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Then you've got Short. Zach Short is still there, and he can play all over the infield. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-2. Chadwick Tromp and Travis d'Arnaud. Travis d'Arnaud has played some first base. He played outfield very early in his career, sparingly. I seriously doubt you would ever put him in the outfield, not with those knees at this age. So an 0-1, 0-2 count to Ozuna, 93 off the edge, 1-2. You got to figure something's going to happen in the future where you're not going to carry 3 catchers. That's very rare. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and swatted. Down the line, foul, do it again. They may be seeing how Sean Murphy holds up the first few days. And then you could get a ghost IL for Trump. You could get a number of different things happen. The 1-2, outside wide, 2-2. Just very, very small chance that the Braves are going to run 3 catchers for the rest of the season. The 2-2 pitch, swing, and lifts it fouling out of play. We'll do it again. So a 2-2 count. The pitch on the way, swing, and that ball's rifled into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Marcell Ozuna has himself the first hit, his first hit of the day. He's 1 for 3 now, 95 miles an hour off the bat. That'll bring Matt Olson to the plate. Matt Olson takes a swing at the first pitch. Splitter over the top. 0-1. I don't think they're really looking to add a Nicky. Remember, the main reason why Nicky Lopez wasn't kept around was because of money. Is the 0-1 off the plate wide. 1-1. Nicky Lopez was due to make $4 million this year, whereas Zach Short is going to make league minimum at $725. So that had a lot to do with. They liked everything about Nicky. It was just the price tag. Pitch on the way to Olson is inside, 2-1. The 2-1. Parker comes set and lets it go. Swing, and that ball's lifted into right center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Matt Olson is chugging towards second. He got himself a double. Marcell Ozuna will stop at third. The Braves got runners on second and third, and nobody out.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
Let's go, Braves country. Let's get some runs. Turn these frowns upside down. Trying to make out who that is heading to the pitcher's mound. Is that? I don't think that's Martinez. That is not Dave Martinez, the manager. That is the pitching coach, Jim Hickey. So we got runners on second and third. Nobody. John says bunt. Suicide squeeze to break up the shutout. I like it. Especially with the catcher at the plate, right? So runners on second and third, nobody out, and Sean Murphy. Wouldn't that be cool if he could just get, even if it was just a little dribbler, get himself a couple of RBIs? Even a fly ball would get you on the board. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch to Murphy is down below the knees. Called for a ball. It's 1-0. The majority of the infield is now covered in shade. There's just a little bit of sunlight over the plate. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Outer edge is 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Lefty, righty, pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped over towards third, deep in the hole. It's going to be a 5-3 putout, but your Atlanta Braves do get a run on the board. So the shutout is broken up. Blooper's doing a little bit of a dance on the dugout. Sean Murphy gets an RBI. First pitch on the way to Adam Duvall is high and out of the zone, 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires, swing, and that ball's smoked towards the left field line, slaps up against the screen, protecting the fans in between third and left field. The 1-1 swung on and popped back foul out of play. It's 1-2. On this date in 1910, in the nightcap of a twin bill in Chicago, Jack Coombs' scoreless streak of 53 innings during a 5-2 loss in a game shortened by darkness comes to an end. The A's right-hander will throw 13 shutouts in 38 games where he started the season, finishing 31-9 with a 1.3 ERA. The 1-2 pitch misses outside 2-2. You know, there is a conspiracy going on, speaking of like dead ball era type stuff, that Major League Baseball this year did something to the balls to get them from carrying. Is the 2-2 swing, and that ball smoked down the third base line again, just going foul. And the conspiracy is you've got a lot of big bats that are hitting free agency, like a Pete Alonso for the Mets and whatnot. And the conspiracy is when the big-name pitchers go on the free agent market, they give you a juicier ball. When they don't, they give you a dead ball. The 2-2, splitter smack foul towards the first base dugout. We'll do it again. I don't know if I subscribe to that theory, but it is interesting. And they're just talking about balls that, you know, for instance, Matt Olson hitting 8 home runs so far this year. There have been some balls where he's hit that I felt like last year that ball was going out. But I try to reserve that judgment at the beginning of the year as the 2-2 is outside wide 3-2. Because you always get so much colder weather and the ball just typically does not carry in cold weather. But if you get to middle to end of summer, and we still have really low home run totals, and it's a lot of home run totals, a lot lower than last year, then I can start putting on the tinfoil hat with you. So with full count to Duvall, runner on second, 1 out, Braves trail 8-1. The pitch, swing, chase that one out of the zone, 92-mile-an-hour fastball below the knees. Might have been too close to comfort to take there for Duvall. Got a full count once again. Parker is about to throw his 100th pitch of the day. The pitch, swing, and that ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 2-run shot. And your Atlanta Braves. 410 happy feet off the bat of Adam Duvall. His 5th home run of the year. 13th RBI. Exit velo of 108 miles an hour. Your Braves cut the lead to 8-3. Just 1 out here in the 7th.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
That's going to run Mitchell Parker off the mound into the showers. He had a hell of an outing, but we'll see if we can get to the Washington bullpen when we come back.
You know, that's a double-edged sword, you know. It's kind of like watching your mother-in-law go off a cliff in a Cadillac. You know, you got mixed feelings.
Now Ricky Henderson. And with Ricky Henderson, don't look away for that first pitch, because Ricky looking for a fastball right away to park in the stands in left field. He's done it more often than any player in history. All the years, if you think of Ricky, you think of the steals, but he's an all-round leadoff man. And there it goes. Number 76. He adds to his record. And that was a no doubt about it home run. Truly a big fly for Ricky Henderson, the 76th time in his career that he has as the first batter in the lineup led off the game with a home run.
My favorite number that's not 3 and 8 or 88 now. My favorite numbers were like 51, 47, 55, 57. And I'm like, man, we got to go with something with an 8. And that was everybody else's opinion too. I was thinking 28. 28's it. I wanted 28. Let's be 28. And Texaco said hard no.
Armchair.
Brooklyn rarely rose above 6th place. Even their diehard fans called the Dodgers Dem Bums.
The Dem Bums became the Dodgers. That was the big name for them. Our bums, our beloved bums. But the term, when it was first used, was pejorative. In the 20s and 30s, people in Brooklyn needed the Dodgers to win, and they'd go out to the ball game, and the Dodgers would lose, and they'd lose stupidly and carelessly and dumbly, and people would come out of Ebbets Field saying, them bums, those lousy bums, they lost again. How'd those bums do today? And it wasn't until they started...
Welcome back. New pitcher on the way is Law, the right-hander. There's a cutter, misses inside. For Michael Harris II, it's 1-0. Derek Law, 29 to third innings, 2.76 ERA. The 1-0, down and in 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Derek Law, 33-year-old. The 2-0, down below the knees, ball 3-0. He was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, drafted by the Giants as a 3-0. They're going to call that a really low strike, 3-1. Drafted by the Giants in the 9th round in 2011. 3-1 pitch, high and out of the zone, ball 4. Michael Harris II will head on down first. Law, by the way, is a career ERA of 3.94. Not great, but not putrid. Last year had a 3.6 with the Reds. Before that, spent time with the Giants, Toronto, Minnesota. As the curveball floats in there for a strike to Orlando Arcia, it's 0-1. Also was traded to the Detroit Tigers in 2020, from the Tigers to the Reds in 2022. The 0-1 pitch, swing, and that ball's chopped foul down the line, pulling another one. Thankfully went foul. Looked like Harris took off on that one. Don't think that was a hit and run. Just think he was hoping for an off-speed pitch. Phillies lead Blake Snell and the Giants 4-3 in the 4th. The 0-2 pitch. Outside wide, and Mr. Michael Harris II steals second. And the Braves got a runner in scoring position. Runner on second. 1 out. The 1-2 to Arcia. Swing, and that ball's laced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Michael Harris II is rounding third. He goes, and here he comes, baby. We have cut the lead in half. It is 8-4. There's still 1 out in the 7th. Let's get it. Holy Toledo. First pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Jared Kelenic is a floating curveball in there. Low in the zone, called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Cutter just misses low. 1-1. He called that same cutter a strike in the first at-bat of Law's inning. So a 1-1 count. The pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Orlando Arcia stands on first with 1 down. Braves trail 8-4. If you're just joining us, it was 8-0 a second ago, and the Braves scored 4 in the 7th. The 2-1, they're going to turn it over and flip it over to first to keep the runner honest over there at first, Orlando Arcia. Probably looking at him going, man, you see my stat sheet? I don't run. So a 2-1 pitch. Down below the knees, curveball misses. He did not go around. They checked with third base umpire Quinn Walcott. So a 3-1 to Kelnick, the top of the order, due up behind him. Got to make him throw you one here. The 3-1 pitch, down and in, ball 4. The runners on first and second. 1 out. At the top of the order, Ozzie, and if they can keep it going, the Rake and the Big Zoo. If you're wondering about bullpens, and this is why the Braves would have the advantage in the series, if they can just get a good start from their starting pitching. The Washington National bullpen is the 4th worst in Major League Baseball with a 5.02 ERA. Conversely, the Braves have fallen a few after the last few games because of the bad outings. But they're still in the top 10 with a 3.81. In the National League, the Braves are 5th, just a couple of points behind San Diego and Philadelphia. Washington's second to last in front of Colorado. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies is swung on, cutter, banged, foul down the first base line. It's 0-1. He's trying to get that cutter rolled over to pull a double play. You got speed at first and speed at the plate. It's going to be difficult turning a traditional double play. The 0-1 kicks and deals. Swing and a miss up top, slider. It's 0-2. So Ozzie Albies now down 0-2. It's 1 for 3 on the day. Batting .425 with runners in scoring positions with 5 doubles and 19 RBI. Righty-lefty matchup from the open stance of Ozzie Albies. The pitch, down and away. Slider misses well out of the zone. 1-2. So 1-2 count. The pitch on the way. Swing, and that ball's chopped foul down the first base line. Braves 4, Washington 8. Bottom of the 7th. That's the bad news. The good news is the Braves trailed 8-0 a second ago. The 1-2 to Ozzie. The pitch. Slice that foul out of play. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Knocked it several rows back. That was one of those. Not sure if that's going to hit the strike zone or not, but I better slap it foul. Law about to throw his 20th pitch of the day. Swing, and that ball's dribbled up towards second, and it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. Ozzie Albies did the one thing you couldn't do there. We'll be back in a flash, but the Braves have cut it in half. It's 8-4 heading to the 8th.
Y'all, how the police gonna pull me over for texting and driving? They be on a whole ass laptop in their front seat.
Hi, 1 herbal tea, please.
Which flavor?
Flavor, jasmine?
Sorry, I meant for the boba.
The little spheres of tapioca and sugar?
The tea comes with boba.
Well, it doesn't, because I see the tea right there and I see the boba over there. So why don't we just not combine them? Yeah? So I'll take the tea without the covert diabetes delivery mechanism, please.
The system won't let me do that.
Okay. Yeah, no, fine. 1 boba, please. We'll call it a mental health day treat. Self-care, right? Isn't that what people call it whenever they need an excuse to do whatever they want?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, of course you don't. Of course you don't. One chewy sugar tea, please.
All right. You can scan the code.
Why?
Because the code takes you to the app.
That's 2 apps today. You know, even though I'm already talking to the person that could just take my order right here, but I got to download an app, right? How about this? I have cash. You have tea. Why don't we just streamline things?
We don't take cash, though.
Yeah. How about cards? Take cards?
Yes.
Oh, great.
But there is a $10 minimum. There's no minimum on the app, though.
I got a short memory, just like when I was in the 3rd grade. 2 of the best years of my life.
Baseball, it's a level playing field. There's equality. All of the inequalities in American life, check their hat at the door. Once you're there, there's a sort of bleacher democracy that the banker can sit in the bleachers and converse with the working man next to him. Baseball exists under a kind of bell jar. It's impervious to change.
How many games are you going to win this year, Daddy?
Well, I'm going to win all I can, buddy.
How much is that, Dad?
Well, how many would you like to have me win?
Oh, about 45.
About 45. Well, I'll do the best I can. If I win 45, that isn't going to leave many for the other players to win, is it?
That's all right.
Well, I'll do the best I can anyway for you and the rest of the boys.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. I saw the question from, was that John? Wanting to know about Michael Harris' second hitting leadoff. You might get that with the right-hander. We might see a much different lineup. The southpaw was on the bump today. First pitch on the way from the new pitcher coming into the game is swung on and popped up high in the sky. It's going to be a can of corn, 1 away. Jimmy Herget comes in. He debuted against the Pirates on Saturday, if you remember. Not quite a 3/4 delivery from the right-hander, but just kind of slings it up there. It's not over the top. First pitch on the way from Herget to Gallo is a sinker, swung on and fouled out of play. It's 0-1. His release almost from the same angle that the great Walter Johnson used to throw from. The 0-1 was high and out of the zone, 1-1. The difference from Johnson, he was so lanky that it was a very smooth delivery. It didn't look as herky-jerky as Herget is. The 1-1, swing and a missed curveball over the edge. Gallo came out of his shoes on that one, 1-2. He wanted to send that downtown, just never got to the plate. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and that ball's lifted high into left center field, and it's going to fall for a base hit into the Bermuda Triangle. Short, left, and center. They had Gallo, the left-handed power hitter, played to pull in center and right, along with Arcia, and then they had Kelnick playing straight down the left field line. So the one place you don't have someone ready to make a play, that's where the ball dropped. First pitch on the way from Herget is a curveball to the right-hander Young, the number 9 hitter. It's 0-1. Young's already tried to drop a bunt here. Herget from Tampa, Florida, drafted by the Reds in 2015 out of USF, South Florida. The Bulls is the 1-0. Swung on, foul back. It's 1-1. It's a 2-time All-American Athletic Conference honoree in 3 seasons with USF. The 1-1 pitch. Swing, and that ball's lifted down towards the left field gap, but coming over, cutting it off at the pass is Jared Kelnick. 2 away. So 2 down. And Herget will now face the top of the order. C.J. Abrams takes a swat at the first pitch, fouls it out of play. It's 0-1. Abrams, 2 for 3 on the day with the home run. The 0-1 pitch. Lets her go. 91 right down the pipe. 0-2. So on the first day of Ronald Acuna Jr.'s season-ending injury, his replacement goes yard, gets 2 RBI. We know he's not the... You can't really replace Ronald Acuna Jr. as a 1-2, 0-2, excuse me. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jimmy H. gets us out of the 8th and keeps us in it. The heart of the Atlanta Braves orders are coming up.
It was a regular Wednesday night when a realization hit me like a truck. I don't think Dua Lipa is going to open any of my DMs.
Our football team, some aspects look like we're really ready to play. A couple of other aspects look like we just got off Willie Nelson's tour bus.
Shout out to my fitted sheet for putting all the clothes in the dryer in a damp, twisted chokehold to make sure nothing else gets dry.
I get the gist of what's going on here. I know what you're doing. You're looking down on us. A couple small market Midwest ball players. Mr. New York City with your Fifth Avenue ties and your tailored suits and your polished shoes and your hair. Your perfectly coiffed Broadway hair. Not everyone can be the next Roger Peckinpah. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a disgrace.
Armchair.
Before the 1934 season began, Dizzy announced that he and his younger brother Paul, whom the press insisted on calling Daffy, would together win 45 to 50 games. They did. Dizzy won 30 and Paul won 19.
Brother Jerome, better known as Dizzy. This is my brother Paul Dean, better known as Daffy. We're both full of ambition against those Tigers.
The Cardinals faced the Detroit Tigers in the 1934 World Series. In the 4th game, Dizzy Dean, running to second, was hit in the head with a ball fielded by the shortstop.
Rogel, in throwing to first, struck the Dean squarely in the forehead with the ball.
The throw knocked Dean senseless, and he was rushed to the hospital. Headlines the next day said, X-rays of Dean's head showed nothing.
Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. Thank all of our veterans. Hunter Harvey comes into the game for the Nationals. The first pitch on the way is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to Austin Riley, who is 0 for 3, misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 98 right down the pipe. 1-1. Hunter Harvey, 29-year-old, out of North Carolina. Was drafted by the Orioles in the first round, 2013. The 1-1 swing pops it up high in the sky into right field. Coming in, making the catch is Thomas. 1 away. Harvey with a 2.42 ERA this season. He has a career 2.77 ERA lifetime in 149 innings pitched. Had some injury issues early in his career. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna's 99. Just misses the black on the top edge. It's 1-0. Marcell got a single, got things going in the 7th. Would lead to the first run of the Atlanta Braves. The 1-0, down and in. 2-0. Braves were going to score 4 in the 8th. Cut the lead in half. It was 8-0 entering the 7th. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and fouls it straight back. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And he is bringing it. So a 2-1 count, 312 batting average, and a 10.03 OPS. The pitch. Inside, ball 3-1. You'd like to see, so Harvey can really bring it, but pitchers are always different when they got a runner on, and you wonder, you just like to see what we can do with the guy on base. The 3-1, swung on, hit hard on the ground, but right at third. It's going to be a 5-3 put out, 2 down. .98-mile-an-hour fastball that was over the heart of the plate. Ozuna just rolled over top of it. Had he gotten on, or maybe later in the game, if the game gets closer, you may see JP Martinez run for someone like Ozuna. First pitch on the way to Olsen is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. JP Martinez being promoted today. 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. They DFA'd Joey Wendell, in case you're just joining us. So a 1-1 count. 2 down, 8th inning. Matt Olson staring down Harvey. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 99 blew it right by him. 1-2. If Olson can keep it going, the Smurf is on deck. Duvall in the hole. I really feel like that 7th inning, there was an opportunity missed there when Ozzie hit into that double play. Really had Law on the ropes. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 99 right up in his kitchen. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash heading to the 9th.
Imagine running your mouth on social media and then boom, I catch your ass at Walmart. Hashtag cleanup on aisle 3.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
And all the calls I made on 4th down all those years, you know what my favorite 4th down call was? Punt. It was the most successful play we had.
Chuck Norris doesn't breathe air. He holds air hostage. Death once had a near Chuck experience. Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door.
How difficult is it to hit a baseball?
I don't think it's that difficult, simply because you only have to do it 3 out of 10 times, you go to the Hall of Fame. The first thing about hitting that is important is you have to be fearless. I mean, if you're scared of getting hit with the ball, forget about it. I look for a fastball every pitch. Now, if you're looking for a fastball and he throws you a slider, a curveball, a changeup, a forkball, a knuckleball, a palm ball, a spitball, a screwball, you're going to hit it. You can just adjust to it. Now, if you get a young kid that's going to swing at a high pitch occasionally or a low pitch occasionally, he's going to be very aggressive. Let him do it. Don't try to make him swing at strikes only. The important thing about being a hitter is being aggressive.
Chuck Norris's calendar goes straight from March 31st to April 2nd. No one fools Chuck Norris.
That's sort of a myth around. Ruth couldn't handle himself. How could he handle other players? Well, that's nonsense. I mean, the man drank a lot and he raised hell and he caroused, but he was a major league player for 22 years. He must have taken care of himself pretty well. And could he have managed? Who knows? Some terrible people have become great managers. Some likely people were terrible managers. He certainly deserved the chance. He didn't get it.
Giants, Phillies, 4-3, bottom of the 5th. San Francisco is batting, and they've got runners on first and second and third, nobody out. First pitch on the way from Herget. Jimmy H. back out there for a second inning. Saw the question about the closer. The closer for the Nationals is Finnegan. I would assume we see him today, but I haven't looked at his usage recently. So we may get a second dose of that flamethrower that they put out there against us. Harvey. The 2-0 pitch from Herget. Swing, and that ball's laced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Kelenic cuts it off, fires it into the infield. A bullet, and man, did he make that close. It's going to be a leadoff double for Washington. But Jared Kelenic fired an absolute hose to second, and it was just off the mark. Ozzie had to get it on the bounce and then run up to try to tag the runner. If the line is, I don't know, less than a foot towards the bag, Ozzie's going to get him in a tag. Usually that is a no-doubter double. First pitch on the way from Jimmy to Garcia. It's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, chopped foul. Back behind home plate, 1-1. We know it's going to be a Herculean task trying to come back with 4 runs in the ninth, but you at least want to keep it there. The 1-1 from Jimmy H. Swing and swatted foul out of play. It's 1-2. Giants have tied the game. It's 4-4, bottom of the 5th. And they still got runners on the corners. They've got Taijuan Walker on the ropes. I'm a little surprised he's still out there. So a 1-2 count. Righty-lefty. The pitch from Jimmy is on the way and swung on, lifted high and deep into left field. Kelenic makes the catch. No way he's going to run on Kelenic. 1 away. So 1 down. I would think Finnegan would be the guy we see tonight because he has been used sparingly over the last week. First pitch on the way to Rosario is outside, swung on, and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. He was used on Saturday, and before that he wasn't used until the week before on the 18th. The 0-1 swatted back foul. It's 0-2. What you can expect from Finnegan, he comes in 20 innings pitch, a 1.8 ERA, a .90 whip, 14 saves on the year. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got Eddie Rosario with the curveball on the outer edge. 2 down. So 2 down. Jimmy 1 out away from keeping it right where he's. I mean, you got to tip your cap to Jimmy if he can get this last out here, because come in and give you two innings of scoreless relief, keep you in the ball game. The first pitch, 93 right there on the outer edge. It's 1-0. Doesn't have real impressive stuff. Kind of reminds me of like a shorter version of Tonkin, that funky release. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Changeup misses well outside. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Runner on second, 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 92 right in his kitchen. 1-2. Jimmy Herget about to throw his 25th pitch of the outing. Lets her go. Swatted down the right field line. And making the catch. Running in is Adam Duvall before that ball could fall and cause more damage. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the ninth. Put your rally caps on, y'all. Murphy will lead us off.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Yeah, well, it's already 10 o'clock in the morning. You don't drink coffee at 10 o'clock in the morning where I come from. I'll take a cold beer instead.
Perhaps something to eat?
Come to think of it, my stomach is rumbling a little bit. I'll have another cold beer.
Hey, Braves country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
Found a rattlesnake by the shed door, told Grandpa, and he said, well, you know where the pistol is. I was 8.
And with 2 out, you talk about a roll of the dice. This is it. Trying to catch lightning right now. Sachs waiting on deck. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
Hey, does anybody else whole body start hurting as soon as you start putting work clothes on? Or is it just me?
Now, new heroes emerged from Ruth's shadow. Luke Appling, Johnny Mize, Earl Averill. Mel Ott of the Giants was so feared at the plate that he was once intentionally walked with the bases loaded. Hack Wilson of the Cubs hit even harder than he drank, 1 year batting in 190 runs. Still a major league record. One writer said that Wilson was built along the lines of a beer keg and not unfamiliar with its contents.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. A little more on Finnegan as he's warming up. So he's been one of the best closers in baseball this year. He had a blown save back on May 18th against the Philadelphia Phillies where he was tagged for a few runs and dropped the loss. But that was an outing where they were asking him for a two inning save. And Philly got to him in that second inning. So we'll see what we get here. But he has been one of the best closers in baseball. We have seen him. He is a tough customer. Just have to see how it pans out here. But you never know. Murphy's going to lead us off. We got Murphy, Duvall, Harris, and if anybody gets on, Arcia and the kid. Righty-righty matchup to start it. The first pitch on the way is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Misses low. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Yeah, once again, Harris most likely going to be lead off with right-handers. There was a lefty on the hill today. The 1-0 swung on, chopped over towards short and third. They're going to run into each other and kick the ball around the infield, and that'll get the Braves the leadoff runner on. See if they give someone an error there. Someone with good speed was going to beat that out anyway. Murphy probably isn't, but it'd be interesting to see if they give an error. I would. So here's the funny thing. It'll probably be on Abrams, but it was really the third baseman's fault, Senzel, for cutting in front of him and screwing the whole thing up. But I don't think he ever touched the ball. Abrams did. The first pitch on the way to Adam Duvall is a four-seam fastball right there at the knees. It's 0-1. They gave that an infield hit. That is very generous, giving Sean Murphy his first base hit on the year. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Harris's splits against left-handed pitching have just been terrible this year. So that's why he's not leading off. In fact, you'll notice he's normally hitting towards the bottom of the order against lefties. But against righties, very good chance that they put him there and put Ozzie batting second and go back to the normal fold where you have Riley at third, and then you would have Ozuna backing up Olsen unless they want to drop Olsen down a slot. The pitch on the way to Duvall, high and out of the zone. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way from Finnegan. Kicks and fires. Swing and fouls it out of play. Do it again. Adam Duvall, who already has a home run and 2 RBI, getting the start in right field for the injured, done for the season. Ronald Acuna Jr. San Francisco leads Philly 5-4 in the 6th, so that's good news. The 1-2 to Duvall. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 97 miles an hour. 1 away. One down, and Michael Harris, the second, will come to the plate, batting .262, just a .681 OPS. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss, blew it right by him, 97 miles an hour. It's 0-1. RC on deck. The 0-1. Just got to find some way to get on. The pitch, swing and a miss, blew it right by him, 0-2. I don't know why Finnegan would throw anything but that fastball to Harris. He is not catching up to it. So an 0-2 count. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. 2 away. Totally outmatched in that at bat. So 2 down. The Braves are down to the last out, Orlando Arcia. If he can keep it going, Kelnick, and then the top of the order. Just got to find a way to get on and keep the line moving. First pitch on the way to Orlando is swung on and chopped foul off his instep. It's 0-1. Rolled over the top of that 98-mile-an-hour fastball. The 0-1. Righty. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Finnegan kicks and fires. Swing, and that ball is laced into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It got down just in time, and going first to third is Smurf for the very Smurfy play, and you got runners on the corners, 2 outs, and the tying run now stands on deck in the form of Ozzie Albies. Jared Kelnick will come to the plate. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is a swing and a miss, strike, 96 mile an hour. It's 0-1. Just got to slap it and get it fair. The 0-1. Righty lefty kick fires right there for a strike, 96 right down the pipe. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count, a busted bat, seeing eye single, anything. We'll take an error. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 99 miles an hour, blew it right by him, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Braves lose a tough one, 8-4, after getting up off the mat, down 8-0. The one good thing I will take away from this is that they didn't give up. The bats woke up, and we've got a deeper lineup, even losing Acuna, but you gained Murphy and you gained Riley. So you got a deeper lineup nowadays. We'll see what they do in the near future. I can't imagine we're going to go very long with this roster not adding somebody to at least be able to platoon in the outfield. Because J.P. Martinez, I believe, is just a place marker. He does not have impressive numbers. Even the numbers in the minor leagues, if you look at his minor league numbers, he got off to a scorching start. He hasn't been very good since. So he could be the guy on the chopping block if they get a trade and they send him away. All right, we'll go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Braves lose a tough one, 8-4. No post-game show tonight with it being Memorial Day. Once again, I want to thank our veterans and thank a veteran today. Buy him a beer, every day of the year, but especially on Memorial Day, where we commemorate those who gave the ultimate price and gave their life for this great country. And things a little bit bigger than baseball sometimes. Braves lose 8-4. Tomorrow is 7:20. First pitch is back to normal. So we'll come on the air about 30 minutes before for the pregame show. I'm going to do some sniffing around, see if I can find some more trade possibilities that are out there. But if this is going to be long-term, and I would have much rather seen Forrest Wall come up, mainly because I want us to be able to, chant the Run, Forrest, Run. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow it's Max Fried Day, and then it's Duck and Cover on Wednesday. I don't know who's going to pitch. I'm guessing Kerr, but who the hell knows at this point. Y'all have a great one.
what stripes and